Welcome back to part 2 of our chainsaw carving of a black bear. Once I sawed off a little bit of the weight here at the top and had some better handles, I was able to get this stood up rather precariously. And today we're going to start by taking off all the bark so that we can better see what we're working with. And then we're going to start shaping the arms and the rest of the body on this thing. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos. And forgive me if this ends up being a pretty rough looking bear. It is my first attempt, so we're going to do our best with this. Okay, so keeping with our philosophy over here of not wasting anything, I really wanted to do something with this pine tree. It's been sitting here for about a year, and it's too heavy to move. I could barely pick this thing up just to stand it. And we don't have the means to take the stuff out of here to be milled, and we don't have a mill. And so I needed to come up with some way of using this tree. And if we're even partially successful on this first carving, then I have a lot of other pieces that I can do the same thing with, some of them even larger than this. So I should be able to come up with some cool carvings for around the property here. And I'd like to be able to put them on display so that when people come through our trail or sit by our river, they're going to have some things like this that they can look at. Bark seems to be coming off quite easy, and you can see here this brown discoloration and sort of like a powder. That's the start of rot setting in on the tree. So it's a good thing we're getting to this stuff, these projects now, or this probably would have gone to waste in another year. Okay, so I got the bark off using my axe, and now I'm going to just scrape it down using my bark peeler. And there you can see the rot that was accumulating underneath the bark here. So I'm going to have to do my whole pine tree now if I want to be able to do these carvings over the next little while. I'll have to start cleaning up debarking all my pine tree here to preserve it, because this is what happens when you leave it with the bark on. She starts to rot on you. Okay, so I got him cleaned up. He's been debarked. I scraped all the rot off of him and cut any limbs that were sticking out. I'll give you an idea now of the shape. And you can see here I kind of tried to work with the log so that his back would have, you know, more of that rounded hump like this. It is going to end up being a skinny bear though, probably for that reason in the front. And now from here, I started to carve out where the head would end here and then round out to the shoulder blade. And I don't know if you could see it, but I tried to draw a little bit of roughly where the arm would be. And it means that there's a big chunk in here now underneath his chin that I have to remove, I think, as my next step. So that's what we're going to attempt here in a moment. Very sorry, in part 2 here, when I was doing my video editing, I'm still not very good with technology, and I had 24 minutes of video footage of me carving out the chest and the hands and stuff here, and I lost it all. We're starting to get our paws defined. We cut a nice V into the chest here and over the top of the hands here to try to define those. And I have a curved line coming down around here on either side. I think now I may start furring this guy from the top here down. And I'm hoping as I do that, it's going to point out to me where it needs some more work, as well as maybe cover some of my mistakes as I go. So we're going to start with that next, and we'll try to do some of the finer detail and see how this looks at the end of part 2. guys, so at the end of part 2, here's where we're at. I still don't have eyes in there because I'm not exactly sure how to carve the eyes just yet. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with the chainsaw. But we have some definition on the head and arms and paws. And I think it did help to start putting the fur on them. Because as you score them, you can kind of cover up your blemishes. There's what he looks like around the back so far. Back out to the front. Alright, thanks for watching part 2 of our carving video here. I hope you guys like it. By all means, leave it in the comments and let us know what you think. On part 3, we're going to try to do the legs, the lower section, and I'd like to get a space between his legs so that he's standing up. I think it's going to look great when it's done. And anyway, stay tuned for part 3. Thank you for watching.